For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover
Sofia,
the untold
Varna,
secrets of our
Sozopol,
world.
aliens visit
Let
us,
the journey
and
begin.
the
CIA mentions us. Everyone has heard that astronauts spend months in space. We're used to the statistics about their time in orbit. But have you ever wondered how long the supposed extraterrestrials, whose files the CIA declassified last year, spend near Earth? What is the duration of their missions, which are believed to be aimed at studying humanity and our planet? Where do they linger longer? And where do they just appear for a few seconds? What might their reports look like? Are some countries of greater interest to them? And where does Bulgaria stand? Based on data from the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, it turns out that our country ranks 8th in Europe for the length of time UFOs are present on its territory. On average, the 17 strange events registered in the database lasted about 21 minutes each, nearly 6 hours in total. The reported incidents from CIA documents were analyzed by the International Union of Ufologists. Overall, 994 visits by unidentified entities have been recorded on the old continent over 100 years of observation. Still, what determines the duration of a reconnaissance mission by those we call aliens on the territory of a given country? The analysis shows that the size of the country isn't particularly relevant. They've shown the longest interest in the tiny kingdom of Monaco, which covers just 2.2 square kilometers. Its size didn't prevent flying saucers from staying there for an average of 45 minutes. So, if you're an enthusiast hoping to witness unusual phenomena of unknown origin, the authors of the analysis suggest you might want to spend some time in this constitutional monarchy on the French Riviera. Second comes another small country, Liechtenstein, with average sightings lasting 39 minutes. These were mostly of lights moving across the sky, rather than flying saucers. Latvia ranks third with UFOs staying for an average of 24 minutes, followed by much larger Ukraine, 22 minutes. Last place goes to San Marino, 61.2 SQQ, where aliens have never been observed, not even once. So what about the most frequently visited countries? Ireland takes the lead. Its territory has recorded 105 events possibly linked to foreign civilizations. France and Spain follow. Interestingly, Bulgaria is compared to Greece, Italy, and Poland. All 4 countries share the same average UFO visit duration, although the number of visits differs. Our southern neighbor Greece has documented 50 such events, Italy 41, Poland 26, and Bulgaria only 17. However, the declassified CIA files don't indicate where the aliens might have come from in each case, or how long it took them to travel to Earth and become visible to the naked eye. That information remains unavailable. The documents do reveal, though, that even travel from the nearest galaxy would take 200 years. Another detail: flying saucers are the most frequently observed, but in Bulgaria they are a minority. In one case from 2013, something resembling a spaceship flew over Sofia, but only for 1 second. Here, most sightings involve lights and glowing orbs, most often above the capital. For example, one case involved a large flaming orb with flames sparkling in green, yellow, and red. Additionally, the CIA documents mention unexplained lights on multiple occasions. One particularly interesting file contains a note from American agents stating that a witness reported a UFO. In parentheses, they clarified that this was the Russian acronym for the English abbreviation UFO. Can anyone translate from Bulgarian to English? The CIA agents asked. The database does not indicate whether they ever learned what the Bulgarian term meant. Unlike that brief report, 2 other sightings from Sofia are much more detailed and linked to unexplained phenomena. One witness says, "I saw a large flaming ball, bigger than an airplane, with flames changing from green to yellow to orange. First, it flew low, then rose higher, becoming smaller but still burning. It moved at high speed. It appeared and disappeared in about 30 seconds. The second account describes a strange circle. I looked out the window and saw a red glowing orb rising upward. 2 more objects followed. They appeared from the north." The witness recounted. "They moved eastward. I quickly grabbed my camera and started taking pictures. Then I decided to wake up my husband. When I returned, only 1 object remained, and it soon disappeared from view. A few years before that, 3 sun-like yellow objects were observed near Sofia, reportedly seen over the Lulan mountain. On another day, a bright orange circular light, resembling a small aura, was observed moving from the south, southeast to the north, northwest in 15 seconds. But the longest recorded UFO presence on Bulgarian territory occurred in Varna. According to CIA files, for 80 minutes, locals observed 14 bright and extremely fast eastbound flying saucers. Interestingly, they did not fly on the same plane. 4 years later, several more objects flew over the maritime capital, some in full synchronization like a squadron of military jets. There were 4 people sitting in a courtyard outside the city. The first thing we saw was the brightest and fastest object. Nothing like we've ever known. It was definitely not a military aircraft. At first, it looked like a bright red star, but then it suddenly started moving at high speed. The eyewitnesses said, according to them, the UFOs headed east. After the first, 2 more appeared out of nowhere. One of the witnesses tried to observe them with a small telescope, but the bright lights were moving too fast and silently. The 4 observers speculated that the phenomenon might be linked to a comet that had recently collided with Jupiter. A bright red light was also seen above Itaman and Sozopol. At that time, German ufologist Uli Heer was vacationing in Sozopol. He stayed at the Lozite Hotel and shared, "My friend, I was vacationing at the Lozite Hotel in Sozopol, near Harmony Beach. At 10:00 p.m. I went outside the hotel. I couldn't sleep. It was a full moon. I started chatting with our friendly host Vasil when a cylindrical object flew overhead. I didn't have time to react or photograph it. The object stopped above Harmony Bay and then suddenly dove into the water. We were stunned. The host's beagle Barcy was paralyzed. It was like time stopped. The next day, I learned that cylindrical flying objects had reportedly plunged into the sea here before. Vasil also confirmed that lights are often seen above Harmony at night and in the sea. In Pazarjic, witnesses claim to have seen objects glowing in the colors of the Bulgarian flag, white, green, and red, for a full 10 minutes. In Chirpan, a flashing light pulsed in yellow and red, but unlike the other objects, it moved slowly and stopped above the city, looking like a star in the sky. A sphere appeared for 7 to 10 seconds over Veliko Tarnovo on June 12, 2009 at around 9:25 p.m. near Pleven. Witnesses saw an orange light. It looked like it was spewing flames before vanishing. Even stranger is the account from a resident of Stara Zagora. Something resembling a sunrise occurred on January 10, 2018, at 1:10 a.m., despite the cloudy weather. Another bizarre event was recorded in the city of linden trees. Clouds unlike any of the known alien-related phenomena. But the most unusual story comes from Galianci near Kostenbrod. There, a witness reported a close encounter of the third kind and gave a detailed description of a humanoid with an elliptical head, enormous black eyes, and coarse, pored skin, a being that appeared and disappeared from his room during the night. Another witness described seeing 3 types of objects: a fireball, a cigar-shaped craft, and a dome-shaped one. These are the CIA file records on Bulgaria. However, they are likely incomplete, as reports from Eastern Bloc countries only began after 1990. And the further back in time one goes, the scarcer and less documented the night. Another witness described seeing 3 types of objects: a fireball, a cigar-shaped craft, and a dome-shaped one.